Subway 400 on Fox is brought to you by Budweiser. It's time for a fresh one. Grab a Budweiser. The race is on. The race is temporarily off for Jeff Burton. During this caution, he pulled his 99 behind the wall to replace the radiator. We're getting set to go back to green. Robbie Gordon is the leader. Andy Hillenberg, car 80, got the pardon and the free pass around. He was first a lap down when that caution came out. Here we go. Stay on the lead lap, and so did Ken Schrader from his earlier bump with the wall that brought out the first caution of the day. The only cars in the garage, Kirk Shelberdine and Joe Ruttman. Neither of those cars were in the final practice, made a brief appearance and gone home.
Yeah, those guys, though, you take Kyle Petty, he hit that wall hard back there. I think he'll be back in there working on it for too long. But he's going to have trouble, have it early.
See, Ryan Newman in the 12 car pulls it to the bottom. There's right here, although I think Ryan's car is better than Robbie Gordon in the 31, this is just those 8 or 9 laps difference in sets of tires.
Yeah, and you see Rusty there creeping in the picture. Rusty, he's been fast all weekend, Larry. He qualified well. He led. He was fast in both happy hour practices. They obviously have a fast car. He just has some good luck today.
Robbie Gordon was 25th when the caution flag came out.
Look at this 3 wide for second place. Robbie Gordon in the 31 stuck in the middle. That's a battle for second. Jeff Gordon got the good run in the 24 car off the high side.
If we're with Robbie Gordon to come from 25th to the lead, he must have only taken 2 tires.
He either took 2 tires or no tires. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? If he can catch a quick caution here in about 10 or 15 laps, it has paid off for what they did.
Yeah, he got to good track position, but the cat that's really on the move is that yellow car right there in the 4th place.
That'll be Matt Kenseth, the defending Cup champion, coming from 25th starting spot and moving right up with him, Dale Jarrett. Dick Berggren?
Well, most drivers these days allow their crew chief to make the majority of strategy decisions and even let him decide what should be done to the car on pit stops. Rusty Wallace, for all the years he has been racing, has made those decisions himself from behind the wheel. Larry Carter, his new crew chief, the plan as we go for the lead, the plan now is to let Carter make the strategy decisions. Rusty is going to still make the decisions about what to do with the car in terms of tires, change them, don't change them, that kind of thing. It's a big change in the way they've run this operation. To Matt.
Dick, Ryan Newman, his teammate, just lost the lead to Jeff Gordon. His car did handle better out in the fresh air. It's both tight and loose. Ryan was telling his crew chief, Matt Borland, I'm going to search around to see if I find a better line. Matt asked him, do you want us to give you the time so you'll know? He goes, no, I'll be able to feel it. Steve Burns?
Matt, Jamie McMurray lost some positions off pit road on that last stop. His rear tire changer, Billy Kerwin, thought he had a lug nut hung up and it cost him several spots. McMurray trying to fight his way back through.
Fastest car on the racetrack right now is Matt Kenseth. He works right around the bottom, and he's coming to the front.
And what I like about Jeff Gordon up there, he runs low in 1 and 2. The car works good on the bottom in 1 and 2, but when he gets to 3 and 4, he takes it right out next to the wall. And the other thing I noticed about Rusty Wallace's car, it's got that Rusty Wallace, I'm fast for a few laps, but I'm not fast for a lot of laps.
Jeannie has more.
Well, DW, I think you've done this before. You're reading Jeff Gordon's mind. He said that's exactly right. When he runs on the bottom, he is loose. When he runs on the top, he tightens up. So he's trying to figure out the track, obviously, to make it work to his advantage.
And, Jeannie, that's what we talked about earlier. These guys have to search around, maybe not so much where their car is the fastest for the shortest period of time, but where it feels the best to them.
And you got to be a little freer in 1 and 2 to run the bottom. It's a little tighter radius corner. Then you can run high down there on the other end where you got a big sweeper.
Here's Kurt Busch in the 97, who's been trying to get to the top 10. He is presently 13th.
Check to see if we have damage. It looks good. The front end looks good. No problems with the front end. The back end got hit a little bit, Jeremy. What do you see?
Just pushed in on the right side just a little bit. We'll be okay.
The front end's okay, Kurt.
Everything looks good.
As Kurt just was concerned about the front of his race car, you handle a little damage on the rear of your car. It does not affect it that much, but that front end being damaged will definitely change the way that car drives.
So I like Jimmy Finney. That's Kurt's crew chief, and he has an authority. He has authority in his voice that I think is really good for Kurt Busch.
Rusty Wallace has got authority underneath that right foot as he powers around Matt Kenseth, and Wallace goes to third.
But look at those two guys coming behind them there. Dale Jarrett in the 88 car, the UPS car, and Jamie McMurray in that 42. They are coming while Rusty and Matt, the 2 and the 17, are running side by side.
I'm liking what I see in that 88 car today, boys. I mean, he's won here. He's hungry. He wants to win again. And I know that Mike Ford has probably got him a really good long race set up in there. This thing is looking good for him.
And there's a big difference. Kenseth continues to battle Rusty, while Jarrett saw McMurray going and said, go ahead, we got plenty of racing left to do.
Yes, sir. I mean, he just says, you know, going out there and wear your stuff out. I'll get you later, buddy, like he did Kurt Busch here last year.
If a car catches you, there's a reason he calls you. He's quicker than you are. Don't sit there and battle him, not this early in the race.
Steve Burns.
Hey, Mike, Dale Jarrett has led over 1,000 laps here at the Rock in 33 starts. We've heard guys changing track bars, making air pressure adjustments on the previous 2 stops. On the last stop, Dale Jarrett said change absolutely nothing. I like the way it is right now.
And Steve, you know, we talked about him being the defending champion this race, won this race a year ago. That was his only top 5 finish in 2003. Had a great run at Daytona last week. Brings that momentum in here to Rockingham.
It was Brad Parrott's first win as a crew chief, and then it seemed the wheels came off that team. A lot of things, internal and external, happened to the Jarrett team as the season went on.
And you know, all that hype we had at Daytona about the Fords, they were on the front row and they were going to do this and they were going to do that. You know how many laps they led at Daytona? 2. Wow. 2 laps. So they need to recover. They need to come back strong here if they can.
Matt Kenseth is coming back strong. He repasses Rusty Wallace and takes 3rd place back. Matt?
One of only 2 drivers has scored top 10s in both races here last year, driving the car that he clinched his Nextel Cup championship with. They over-adjusted the race car on the first stop. They made a track bar adjustment and air pressure. It did help, but not enough. It made the car way too tight, so they went back up on the track bar. It has really helped, and you're seeing the results. He's on his way to the front.
Thanks, Matt. Jeff Burton is back in the race with a new radiator. Jeff Gordon, our leader, at 73 laps. Now for our Singular Wireless Virtual Crew Chief question of the day. Vote now from your Singular Wireless phone by sending text message FOX to phone number 191 or visit foxsports.com to vote online. Gordon, Newman, Kenseth, Wallace, McMurray at the Rock in the Subway 400.